They're here!
Oh my God! Okay, it's happening. Everybody stay calm. What's the procedure, everyone?
And not just whispers, not rumors, giants crushing cities, shaking the earth, clawing out of our nightmares. Look around, the world is swarming with monsters. But this isn't a disaster film, it's reality. The kaiju are back, and they're bigger than ever. Giant monsters are everywhere. Godzilla, Kong, titans of legend, creatures from the deep, and even monster born from our own fears. Are we living in a kaiju renaissance?
You're goddamn right.
But why now? Why this sudden explosion of colossal creatures? Well, we're gonna dive deep into the heart of the Kaiju Comeback. And trust me, there's more to it than just big monsters stomping cities. Let's start with the king himself, Godzilla. Think of him as the Bitcoin of the kaiju world. He sets the market, he dictates the trends. When Godzilla roars, the entire genre feels the tremor. But it wasn't always like this. Growing up, being a Godzilla fan was a niche passion. You had to hunt for the VHS tapes and hope for a random TV airing. The internet changed everything. Now, Godzilla is just a search away. Information, toys, news, it's a kaiju paradise. But let's first rewind a bit. The 1998 Godzilla film, I know, controversial, sure, but undeniably impactful. For many, it was the first taste of the king. And with the internet, they could dive into the classic Toho films and discover the rich history. Toho saw the potential. They're no longer just a Japanese studio. They're a global powerhouse. Since 2018, Toho has been expanding in Hollywood. They purchased G-Kids, an animation distribution company here in the United States. They invested 25% in a studio called Fifth Seasons. This studio is best known for producing the hit show Severance on Apple. In 2023, they launched the online Godzilla store, with liaisons here in the US to head marketing. They also have exclusive products on the site that you cannot get anywhere else. Toho CEO credits the 2014 Godzilla movie as part of the reason Toho has expanded. And while Godzilla won't be the only media that Toho produces with these recent investments, it stands to believe that they will continue to produce Godzilla media and toys for the foreseeable future. In 2024, Deadline interviewed Toho CEO Hiro Matsuoka, and he had this to say. For Godzilla, part of the rapid expansion in the last few years was triggered by the 2014 legendary version of Godzilla. The Japanese icon became a big hit in Hollywood, and with subsequent films allowing the audiences to have consistent exposure to Godzilla content. In support of this international interest, we deepened our fan outreach. We've also established regional subsidiaries in the past few years, building teams who have the best knowledge of each country's market and allowing them the flexibility to serve their regions based on that expertise. North America is a top priority market for our global strategy, and we believe that working out of Hollywood is the best way to deliver our content globally. Although the rise of streaming and the popularity of anime have changed the environment since our original strategy was formed, we have not changed the direction of our business, which has been, and will continue to be, focusing on the fans. In addition, we're not only bringing Japanese production to North America, but also thinking about delivering content developed in North America to markets around the world, including Japan, by utilizing our investment and partnership with Fifth Seasons and the other producers in Hollywood. In 2023, we released a long-term strategy that extends to 2032, the 100th anniversary of Toho's founding. As part of that strategy, we established animation as the fourth pillar of our business. The expansion of the anime business, the use of digital technology, and expanding into our overseas markets. To this end, we will invest in growth and build new and exciting teams. We hope that you will have high expectations for Toho in the future, because we do. Now, remember Godzilla Final Wars? It kind of felt like a farewell, I remember, but it was actually a quiet surge. During the promotion of that movie, Godzilla got his Hollywood star, and that was actually a sign of a silent growth. Even when it wasn't cool to be a fan, the passion was there, bubbling beneath the surface. Then came 2014, Godzilla. A game changer. It wasn't just a movie, it was a phenomenon. Legendary Pictures saw the potential and the MonsterVerse was born. Initially, this was supposed to be just a one-off film. The weekend box office numbers changed everything. And let's face it, the MonsterVerse is a successful movie universe with a consistent cadence and an upward trend, while on the other hand, the superhero genre is actually experiencing the opposite. This is a direct result of the 2014 movie. And that movie would not have been made if it wasn't for Yoshimitsu Banno. Now, the MonsterVerse didn't just materialize out of thin air. It's the culmination of a decades-long dream and a vision nurtured by one man, Yoshimitsu Banno. In 1971, Banno directed Godzilla vs. the Smog Monster, aka Godzilla vs. Ghidorah, a film that was far ahead of its time, and I agree with that. He wanted to do more than just stage a monster brawl. He wanted to address real-world issues like the growing threat of pollution. Now, Ghidorah the Smog Monster was a terrifying embodiment of that threat. But Banno's vision went beyond simple cautionary tale. He wanted to make Godzilla relatable, especially to a younger audience. He envisioned a film that was visually experimental, a spectacle that would resonate globally. But his ideas were met with resistance from Toho. At the time, they were hesitant to stray too far from the established formula. Despite the challenges, Banno never gave up on his dream. He harbored a deep passion for Godzilla, a desire to showcase the character's true potential on a grand scale, particularly in IMAX 3D. He spent years advocating for his vision, trying to convince studios to take a chance. Eventually, he partnered with producer Brian Rogers, and together they brought his concept to Hollywood. They approached Legendary Pictures, who were intrigued by the idea of a modern, large-scale Godzilla film. This was the spark that would ignite the MonsterVerse. Legendary brought in Gareth Edwards, who we all know and love, a director who shared Banno's vision for a grounded and realistic Godzilla. Edwards' approach, emphasizing scale and a sense of awe, perfectly aligned with Banno's original intentions. Toho finally saw this potential and gave their blessing, collaborating closely with Legendary to ensure the film stayed true to the spirit of Godzilla, although they say the same thing about 98. While Godzilla 2014 wasn't as overtly focused on pollution as Godzilla vs. the Smog Monster, it did retain an underlying environmental message. Godzilla was portrayed as a force of nature, restoring balance to a world disrupted by human activity. And the film's use of cutting-edge visual effects and a grounded approach to storytelling brought Banno's vision of a massive and realistic Godzilla to life. Godzilla 2014 was more than just a reboot. It was the culmination of Yoshimitsu Banno's decades-long dream. His persistence, his passion, and his unwavering belief in the character all contributed to the film's success. And in this case, he did help reshape the future of the kaiju genre. But the Kaiju Comeback isn't just about the MonsterVerse. Shin Godzilla and Godzilla Minus One have proven that Toho is still pushing boundaries, and that they're heavily invested. And let's give a big shout out to Kong, America's favorite ape. Teaming up with Godzilla has been a winning formula. Kong Skull Island was a massive hit. It's the highest grossing MonsterVerse movie up until Godzilla vs. Kong. We're seeing a surge in monster movies and shows beyond Godzilla. I mean, think about these titles: Pacific Rim, Rampage, Troll, The Lake, Colossal, Sweet Home, Stranger Things even, Love and Monsters, Underwater, A Quiet Place, Crawl, Bird Box, The Ritual, and that's just scratching the surface. And yeah, not all of them are kaiju movies, but they're monster movies. And streaming platforms have opened the floodgates, making monster content more accessible than ever. So why now? Ease of access, of course, the internet, the MonsterVerse itself, and Godzilla and Kong teaming up. But there's more. We crave spectacle, escapism. We want to see the impossible made real. And let's be honest, there's something very special about watching a giant monster destroy a city. You know, I've always talked about the day the MonsterVerse ends, and that day will come. But I firmly believe now that it won't spell the end of the kaiju genre, or Godzilla for that matter. I now believe, for the first time in my life, after experiencing 3 dry spells of Godzilla in between each era, that the Kaiju Comeback is a cultural phenomenon, a testament to our endearing fascination with the colossal and the unknown. It's a celebration of imagination, passion, and the power of storytelling. What are your favorite monster movies and shows? Let us know in the comment section. Subscribe to the channel, and finally, do you want a place to go to listen to songs about your favorite monsters? Well, check out Kaiju Tunes.
Godzilla in the midnight rain, breaking shit and feeling no pain. Godzilla, you're so damn divine, making chaos look so fine.
It's a channel that uploads different genres of music dedicated and inspired by kaiju throughout history. With that said, until next time, this is Rob signing off for E.T.N, where we don't do news, we just talk entertainment. Take it easy.